to get real. Tragedy for Tiger Woods. Confusion with COVID is growing thanks to Dr. Fauci, and the Senate asked some questions today, but little else. I'm Michelle Mortensen, and this is what you need to know right now, this Tuesday, February 23rd, 2021. Frustration is growing with Dr. Fauci's mixed messages on COVID-19, the vaccine, masks, and our future. Well, the CDC says someone is fully vaccinated 2 weeks after getting your full dose. Dr. Fauci claims that's really not enough protection, that even if you're vaccinated, you need to social distance, wear a mask, and forgo indoor dining. So why does the director of the National Allergy and Infectious Disease Institute basically contradict the CDC?
Great question.
Well, double talk is all Dr. Fauci has offered Americans over the past 11 and a half months. Just take a look.
There's no reason to be walking around with a mask.
Putting a mask on yourself is more to prevent you from infecting someone else.
I want to make it be a symbol for people to see.
If one mask is good, two masks are better.
So if you're keeping score, we've heard don't wear a mask, wear one mask. Masks are just a symbol. And yes, my favorite, wear two masks or 3, 4, 5. Why not just live in a bubble?
Yes, a bubble.
With such a variety of messages from the top doctor on COVID, it's really no surprise people are confused, afraid, and politicizing something that really shouldn't be political at all.
Amen to that.
In the beginning of the pandemic, many overlooked the constant moving of the goalposts that Dr. Fauci did.
I would hope that by November we would have things under such control that we can have a real degree of normality. I think it will be easily by the end of 2021.
Hopefully, as we get into the end of the summer, the beginning of the fall of 2021, we can start to approach some degree of normality.
Is that September, November? Is it next year? What do
You cannot give a definite answer when you have so many moving parts.
But now we're just days away from the 1-year anniversary of 15 days to flatten the curve.
And it lasted longer.
How this is acceptable to anyone on the right, the left, or in between, I just don't know.
No, that is definitely not acceptable.
How long are you going to allow these double-speaking leaders to hurt your children's future, to hurt those who are in poverty, to force millions more into poverty, to destroy businesses, to destroy careers? How long are you going to be told that really nothing's enough? Not wearing a mask, not social distancing, not even getting the vaccine. I mean, if you listen to these so-called experts, you're really never going to be safe.
Nobody's ever safe.
Now, I'm not a doctor, so you know what? Some of what they say could be true. I'm not here to deny that. I'm not here to argue science. I'm only here to point out that if this is something we're going to have to live with, we are going to have to agree to live with it and stop this nonsense from the Biden administration that our darkest days are ahead, or else we're going to be doomed to live under this totalitarian-like system forever.
No, God, please, no, no, no.
And you know what? Let's look at the facts, because I think that's what scientists actually do. Almost a year after the pandemic hit, we've seen 28 million cases of COVID in the United States and 500,000 deaths. Now, those deaths are very sad, but it must be noted that that number is much better than what we were told we would see a year ago. Back then, we were told that millions would die by the summer. That didn't happen. We were told it would take years for a vaccine. That also wasn't true. We were told we shouldn't eat out, but science proved that all wrong. Yet in many states, restaurants remain closed. We were told school wasn't safe for our kids or the teachers. And yet a year later, all we hear from the CDC and scientists is that it's the safest place for our kids and teachers can go back to school without a vaccine. Now, I get that COVID has been scary for many people. Many have lost loved ones. Many have actually gotten COVID and know how devastating it can be. But they've also proven that it can be overcome. I mean, if 28 million people have had COVID in the United States and overcome it, that is undeniable proof. But if that's not proof enough for some of our friends on the left, when is anything going to change?
Things will never change.
If COVID testing is so important, Why do we let illegal immigrants in our country without being tested?
I don't know.
If the vaccine won't let you live life normally again, why should you even get it?
I don't know.
Why is there more outrage over Ted Cruz making a dumb decision to go to Mexico during a winter storm with people actually hounding him outside his home? Yet there's no outrage at all, it seems, to Governor Cuomo, who is directly responsible for thousands of COVID deaths. And rather than admit it, he simply covered it up.
I don't know.
Seriously, these aren't partisan questions. They're just logical ones.
You know what? You're 100% right.
Some sad news to report today. Golf legend Tiger Woods has been in a car crash. It happened early this morning in Los Angeles County, and he was rushed to the hospital. Now, at this time, reports claim he has had several devastating injuries to both of his legs. He was the only person in the car. Injuries like this could be devastating to his career, and we certainly do wish him all the best and a very successful recovery. The head of the FCC called an effort by House Democrats to remove Fox News and other conservative networks from cable providers a chilling transgression of free speech.
Duh. Double duh.
He went on to say more speech is actually better than less, and that speech should be robust, uninhibited, and wide open.
Yes, absolutely.
Speaking of Congress, they've been pretty busy all day with political hearings, and political hearings are really nothing more than political theater. But today, senators questioned more of President Biden's nominees, like Javier Becerra. He has been nominated for health secretary. Now, if you're wondering what a health secretary does, they basically advise the president on matters of health and welfare and income security programs. So I'm sure you'd probably imagine that someone in that spot would have a medical background, right? But no, Becerra doesn't have one. He's a lawyer and a politician. Makes perfect sense.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Senators also held a hearing on the Capitol riots and spoke to law enforcement about their preparation or lack thereof before January 6th. Now, many of the security officers who testified said they believed that January 6th was a coordinated attack. But honestly, we didn't get much else than that. These hearings haven't really given us, the people, any new information. It was really just another display of partisan bickering and positioning.
There's nothing new.
Now, I know what you're saying at this point. Michelle, don't you have any fun or funny news to share today? Yeah, really, I got nothing. But I did find some cute dogs to make up for it. And that's what you need to know. I'm Michelle Mortensen. You can catch this show and many others anytime on grabit.com. That's GRABET.com. It's free for you and full of fun shows just like this one. And you know what? If you're enjoying this show, do me a favor. Why don't you share it? Because sharing truly is caring.